All right, folks, we are there, 2:05. Let's do this. So again, today is kicking off the second day of the Walmart Marketplace Masterclass. We're looking to have a great conversation. Thanks to Walmart and Deliverr for being here today and being part of this. Topics we'll cover off on are, again, kind of the, now that you're up and running on Walmart, let's make sure that you continue to be successful and keep that Walmart engine running. So today's topics include the, keeping your orders flowing consistently, fulfillment best practices, and then what happens in the returns process. We've got a great crew again from all the various partners. Myself and Mike Meck are here from Zentail. On the Walmart side, thank you, Zach, again for being here today. Sid, awesome to have you as well. Being able to speak to fulfillment, we're really excited to be able to speak to Walmart fulfillment and what's happening there with Aaron and Eric. Andre will also be chiming in, as well as Michael Sen from Deliverr. So this is your cast of characters for day 2. All right, what's going to happen today? Similar to yesterday, if you joined, this is kind of the general welcome and intro. We'll go through, again, just some quick highlights from the partners, and then we will open it up to all the questions. And we had a really great conversation, both in the chat and Facebook, as well here online through the Q&A session, and look to raise that bar again. After that, we'll just kind of wrap things up quickly and hope to see you the next time. So as always, we need to just have some quick housekeeping notes. We will get through as many questions as we can. So again, drop them in the Facebook chat, drop them in Zoom if you're here as well. And if you had that one burning question, definitely submit it to events@zentail.com, and we will work with either ourselves, obviously Walmart or Deliverr, to get them answered for you. Everything else, again, same as yesterday. Let's keep the eye on the ball in terms of helping everyone to learn and making this a positive experience, and look forward to speaking with you offline. Be sure to follow Zentail as well on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. All right, that really should be it in terms of intros. Again, Philip, you're on. I see you. Thank you again. Back for another great day. Walmart, Zach, kick it over to you, my friend.
Cool, yeah, while Aaron grabs the screen share, I'll go ahead and do my introduction. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm Zach Hecker, Senior Manager here with Walmart Marketplace. What do? I help to manage the relationships between awesome solution providers like Pauline and the great crew at Zentail to help drive program adoption, new business development initiatives to help make the Walmart Marketplace a better place for merchants like yourselves to grow and to connect with our customers. Yeah, I love what I do. It's a fantastic job, and being here is the right time and the right place to be, especially with everything crazy that's going on right now in the world. So I know everyone's really busy. Thank you so much for being here. Pauline, thank you. To the panelists, thank you for your time and your energy. Philip, thank you for running an awesome group and being a moderator on Facebook and keeping that conversation going, keeping people excited about the marketplace and connected to the details. Real quick, I got a couple slides I'll jump through, and then I'll get out of the way and just be here to help answer questions. So let me just get into it, and then we'll keep going. So Walmart, bright future built on big ideas. Real quick. Walmart serves customers like no one else can, offering top quality product selection and a best-in-class shopping experience. Go ahead and jump to the next one, Aaron. But did you know that we're growing, and we're growing rapidly for as mature of a marketplace as we have? If you focus on that graphic in the middle there, where it says 35% YOY growth, so year-over-year growth, comparing the entire calendar year of 2020 to 2019. 35% growth. Well, these last 2 quarters, in Q2, which was just announced on Tuesday, we actually achieved 97% growth, almost 100% growth. And that's e-commerce as a whole within the organization, not just Marketplace. Marketplace is even accelerated above that 97%. So a wonderful time to join. We have customers who are really excited about the selection, the offering, the promise that we provide to them to help them save money and live better. Go ahead and go to the next slide. We're leading the way, empowering customers to reach, shop, and receive their goods when and where they want. There's literally some of the things that we'll talk about today: fast and convenient delivery, the returns, and the omni-channel experience that we're building, which connects the store that shoppers know and love to the marketplace, which is growing like crazy, and helping you guys to connect into that ecosystem and really become a part of the Walmart omni-channel experience as a whole. And what separates us from competition, we are not nearly as saturated. So if you talk about the views and the impressions that you get as a marketplace participative seller on our marketplace compared to Amazon's, it is 13 times more visitors to your detail pages and to your products than you would receive at Amazon. So we, by design, keep our marketplace more compact, more professional sellers. And if you want specifics about that, and I'll go in one more slide, go and find the presentation that we did yesterday and review that. We go into a ton of detail about who is the right merchant, what does it take to become a merchant, where do the right merchants come from, how can you overcome any of these barriers to entry. So like what we expect experienced e-commerce professionals, US-based, history of marketplace or e-commerce success, and all these things have to be verifiable. You can't just fill out the application saying, yeah, we are all these things if we can't verify them with off-market indicators. A compelling product catalog, we need to have stuff that enhances the offerings to our customer. Usually that means that you have GTIN, UPC, GS1 certified prefixes for your numbers, unique identifiers for your products, and competitive pricing. And as always, exceptional customer service. We need to know that the Walmart customer is going to have as good, if not a better experience working with you as a merchant in the marketplace as they would as if they were coming to the store or shopping directly from, shipped from and fulfilled by Walmart.com. And we make sure that we go through and we verify all these things to make sure that you are going to maintain the customer promise that is so important to us. So next slide, please. And then innovative programs. These are the things that we are investing into as a marketplace to make the lives of our merchants and our customers better. And I'll get out of the way now and let the professionals who run these programs and these products speak to it directly. So Erin, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Zach. Can you guys hear me okay? Good, great.
Sound great.
Thanks for having me today. Thanks, Pauline and everyone. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Erin Temshin, and I'm a program director on Walmart Fulfillment Services. Brand new program. I'm going to walk you through kind of the program mechanics today, some of the initial results that we're seeing, the benefits of WFS. I wanted to share a little bit about my background. Prior to being on the Walmart Fulfillment Services team, I've actually been with Walmart.com for almost 12 years. Next month will be my 12-year anniversary. I've spent most of my time at Walmart on the category side. So I've been a buyer, been driving various businesses on Walmart. So it's really cool to bring that background into a brand new platform that we're launching. So I'm hopeful to continue growing your business and driving business together through WFS. With that, let me get into an overview of the program. So I think most of you are familiar with the mechanics of the program, but just wanted to spend a couple minutes reviewing what is WFS. So Walmart Fulfillment Services, it's a new platform. New being just launched 6 months ago. We launched at the end of February, and I'll share some of the milestones that we've achieved over the first 6 months of being live. But essentially, we offer select marketplace sellers access to our world-class supply chain capabilities, storing, packing, shipping, and then even handling post-purchase with returns and customer service. So at a very high level, sellers are responsible for sending inventory into Walmart. We will be eventually launching inbound capabilities, but for now, the seller is responsible for getting the goods to our location. We are in one location today, but we'll be rapidly expanding actually to our second location the end of next month. I'll share a couple details on that in a future slide. So after you get the goods to Walmart, we're responsible for storing, packing, and shipping the orders. And through the fulfillment fee that is part of the program, we guarantee free 2-day delivery to 100% of the continental US. And then, as I mentioned, we also handle customer care and returns. So returns actually come back to the Walmart facility, and then you can determine from there how you want to handle the actual goods that come back. So just an overview, this is a little bit of a timeline over the last 6 months. As I mentioned, we did our public launch in February, the end of February. So we're just we're actually right at 6 months being live with the program. So brand new program. We're seeing incredible demand from sellers so far. In the first 6 months, we've actually, demand has exceeded our expectations. And some of you maybe, I saw on the questions that there were a couple like, when can I get into WFS? We're actually onboarding sellers as quickly as possible and standing up some additional materials and additional trainings that will help with the onboarding and allow us to accept sellers much faster. We're seeing in the first 6 months, customer experience metrics are actually quite similar to 1P or our first party assortment. And when I mentioned customer experience metrics, there's things like in-stocks. So our in-stock rates are running in the 80% range, and competition meet beat scores, which we also measure, are running in the 70% range, which is much closer to what we would typically see with a first party assortment. And then as I mentioned, so WFS is currently just in one location. Our fulfillment center is in Kentucky. We refer to this location as KY1, or it's right outside of Louisville, Kentucky. We will be expanding into a second facility prior to peak this year. We'll be expanding into Kansas City, so into our KS1 facility. We're working through what actually that means, but it looks like sellers will still be responsible for sending products to just one of the 2 locations. And we're currently building that out right now. And then sellers are experiencing incredible growth. For sellers pre and post being part of WFS, we're seeing on average a 60% growth in GMV in these first few months. So the next slide I wanted to cover off on is how do sellers benefit from WFS? So first, it's really the sales growth that you can achieve on Walmart. As Zach outlined, we have just incredible traffic, where I think the stat is that 95% of the country is within 10 miles of a Walmart store. So we have this immense reach. And what we're seeing for WFS is that you're getting faster delivery, the guaranteed 2-day delivery. Through that delivery, our sellers are often seeing a boost in buy box win percentage, and then increased customer confidence. I'll mention a little bit more on the next slide, but we do have front-end badging that tells our end Walmart customer that the item is sold by seller XYZ and fulfilled by Walmart. So it allows you as a seller to lower your fulfillment costs, taking advantage of Walmart's supply chain scale to fulfill orders. And ideally, a lot of our sellers have been able to invest that savings back in pricing for the end customer, which has resulted in some of the lift that we're seeing. And then assortment growth, just with the lower fulfillment costs, we've seen sellers who are part of the platform be able to double, triple, sometimes even more than that, add additional assortment onto Walmart.com through these lower fulfillment costs. And then this really allows sellers to diversify their business. A lot of our sellers are FBA sellers. They're looking to diversify their channel, and WFS can solve that need for them in a cost-effective solution. And then as Walmart, we're also very, very important to us how our customer benefits. How does this help the Walmart customer? We're customer obsessed and want to make sure that this is actually providing something great for our end Walmart customer. With a guaranteed 2-day delivery, this is a big benefit for a lot of sellers who have not been able to achieve the 2-day delivery on their own. As I mentioned previously, it's the trusted Walmart brand name. So any item that's part of WFS, on the front end, you'll see the item page messaging. It's still sold by the seller of record, but fulfilled by Walmart. And even that confidence that we're instilling in our customer helps increase conversion on some of their items. We also handle post-purchase. So as I mentioned, seamless customer service and returns. If there's any issue with the product, Walmart handles everything post-purchase, resulting really, it's truly, we kind of say it's a 1P customer experience for a 3P item. And then expanded assortment and brands. This has allowed us to unlock items that we haven't been able to offer to our Walmart customer previously on the platform. Items that they've had to go to our competitors to shop. We've actually been able to unlock a pretty significant number of brands through the WFS platform. And then this is my last slide, but I wanted to share just some testimonials from sellers who have joined the WFS platform. So the first one on the left, Pattern, was actually one of our pilot sellers. Prior to February, we We did a test with 6 sellers who we were working with to build out the platform, build out the reporting, the backend technology. Pattern was part of this group of 6 who've been with us for actually about a year now. We launched the pilot in August last year. Pattern has seen an incredible GMV lift and actually is fulfilling the majority of their items through WFS. I think that 2% gap is just the items that have either gone out of stock at WFS that have flipped back to seller fulfilled. Hubbins Hi-Fi is an electronic seller. They carry a lot of the JBL speakers. They have seen triple-digit GMV lift and actually an increase in items prior to being on the platform that were live on Marketplace, but had not seen sales in the prior 3 months. And then the last seller here, Axon, does home goods, and they've seen a 300% GMV lift and actually an increase in their buy box win rate. A large part of this was being able to offer the 2-day delivery to our customers that was not previously offered. Okay, and that I'll be on the Q&A panel later to dig into any of these topics deeper, but with that, we'll go into expedited shipping.
Awesome, thanks Erin. Hey everyone, my name is Andrei Porenko. I'm part of the seller services team. And today I want to introduce our expedited shipping ecosystem of different programs that can help marketplace sellers to offer a faster shipping options to customers. And this is a brief overview of our delivery solutions that sellers can leverage to offer a faster promise time using cost-effective programs to do so. On the left, we have seller fulfilled 2-day and 3-day programs. It's really what it sounds. It's a 2-day and 3-day delivery promise to customers. Sellers enrolled in this program see significant boost in sales, especially now in these COVID times when a lot of customers have shifted their purchases online and are looking to get their orders delivered faster. I'll go deeper into these 2 programs on my next few slides. Next, we have Smart Tags, which is a machine learning algorithm that automatically manages regional 2-day tags for sellers on sellers' behalf to maximize their expedited potential. This is not available to all sellers just yet, so we're still testing it out, but I do suggest you check it out if you've received an invitation for it. Next, we have FedEx Advantage program, which offers sellers great discounts for various services, helping save on shipping labels. And then finally, on the left, we have our cost-effective fulfillment services. We've heard from WFS team, and also we have Deliverr, which is our fulfillment partner, which has special pricing for Walmart sellers. And we do have the Deliverr team here as well to go over that into more details. So if you can go next. Yeah, with seller fulfilled 2-day and 3-day programs, there's great benefits that sellers sellers can leverage these programs to get great benefits from using it, right? And a large number of sellers already kind of delivering, we see that a large number of sellers on standard and value shipping methods, which have a promise time between 6 to 10 business days, are actually delivering these orders much sooner than that. And in many cases, they're delivering these items in 2 to 3 days. But it really depends on seller's warehouse, shipping carrier, and then the shipping service used. On the left, we have a few examples of the delivery maps for FedEx Ground and USPS Priority Mail. So if you have a New Jersey warehouse, for example, and ship via FedEx Ground, which is a 2 to 5 day service within the continental US, you'll deliver your package in 1 to 2 days in all of the Northeast, as you can see on the FedEx map on the right, with pink and the light blue colors. And to about half of the country, if you add the yellow color, which is in 1 to 3 days. However, if you had the warehouse placed more strategically, kind of in the middle of the country, like around Kansas City, then you can actually deliver in 1 to 3 days almost to the entire continental US. And that's using Ground without upgrading to the more expensive and expedited shipping methods. On the bottom, we have the USPS priority mail map, which is 1 to 3 day service in the US. So no matter where in the country, you can deliver an item in 2 to 3 days nationwide. So sellers using standard and value shipping methods for the entire catalog usually find themselves promising customers a longer promise time when actually delivering a package much sooner than that, in 2 to 3 days. As a result, they're not taking advantage of all the benefits that come with a faster shipping method. If we can go next slide. And so what are some of the benefits for sellers, right? And Aaron touched a little bit on this. Obviously, and of course, is the increase in sales that comes with it. The graph here shows a direct correlation between the delivery promise date, which we have on the bottom, and the increase in conversion rate. So, for example, if the delivery promise days goes or decreases from a 5-day to a 3-day, we see on average about 30% increase in organic conversion rate. But for 2-day, the promise is for 2-day promise, the conversion is even higher, especially during these times when a lot of customers have shifted their purchases online. So sellers can take advantage of the expedited shipping methods during these times. Have seen huge demand increase over the last few months. Also, the opposite is true. So I was just gonna say here that also the opposite is true. If the number of delivery promise days goes down, the conversion rate goes down as well. So if you're offering a 6 to 8 days, business days promise to customers, but then delivering it much faster in 2 to 3 days, you're losing on all this conversion potential that a seller could have, right? And the good news are that as a seller fulfilled on the 2-day program, then you can set up your 2-day settings in a way where you could offer the 2-day to some regions and then 5 days or more to the others. If we can go to the next. And these are some of the benefits that help sellers succeed on 2- and 3-day programs. The first, they both get the buy box prominence, increase in conversion, and have a faster shipping promise time compared to standard and value shipping methods. However, the 2-day shipping method has a 2-day shipping tag, which is visible in search results under each product, and it also serves as a filter that customer can use to narrow in their search results. As a result, it drives a lot more traffic as well. So in addition, the 2-day program gets an additional boost in search results. That's something that's not available for the 3-day. And these higher benefits do come with additional eligibility criteria to get into the 2-day program. We ask sellers to maintain at least a 95% order defect rate to kind of enroll and be part of this program. But these qualifications do not apply to the 3-day program. And basically any seller that is able to fulfill an order in 3-day can be part of that. Another difference is that the 2-day can be set at the regional level, while the 3-day is currently nationwide. But in a few weeks, we're planning to introduce the regional settings for 3-day as well. Next. So now I just want to cover a little bit the FedEx Advantage program we have. So not all sellers are able to leverage their order volume to get carrier discounts. So we've partnered with FedEx to offer exclusive discounts to all marketplace sellers. Usually sellers would have to maintain a specific order volume to get this kind of discounts. However, this is not required when you enroll into the program through Walmart. So with the FedEx Advantage program, you can leverage FedEx, which is an established carrier, and save up to 50% off for various shipping services. More specifically, you can get 50% off for FedEx Express and FedEx International, including freight, inbound and outbound. Also up to 40% for FedEx Ground and home delivery, as well as a 25% residential delivery fee. Next. And here are some examples of the actual rates that you can expect to zone. In this example, we have to zone 8, which is coast-to-coast shipping for various services. On the first column, we have FedEx 2-day, which is an expedited shipping service and has a flat 50% off. And below, you can see how what is the actual rates for 1 pound and 5 pound boxes. Next, for FedEx home delivery, which is normally for residential addresses, there is a 40% off the base plus 25% off the residential delivery fee. And below, you can see how those two discounts add up. And then finally, for FedEx ground is up to 40% off, and that's to business and commercial addresses. We have more examples of this shipping zones on the program page. If you use that link below, then you can access, you can apply to the program page there, and you can also see other zones and how the rates would work there.
Perfect. Thanks, Andre.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can skip this. Next slide I have is just sort of like how to go and apply. This is an overview of the marketplace. This will all be included when we follow up with you guys post-event. But with that, we'll throw it over to Pauline, and thank you all so much for the wonderful content.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks. Really, again, good conversation, great slides. Andre, I think you had my favorite one there with the conversion rates and everything. So cool, more to come. And again, those resources look awesome. So we'll make sure we grab all of those to share with everyone afterwards, like Zach said. Okay, my screen share, how is it looking?
Pauline, I think we lost sound from you.
Oh, I hear you, Pauline. I don't see your screen though.
Okay. Always a funny thing. All right, guys, give me 1 second.
There we go. I see your background.
Are you seeing the Welcome to Walmart?
Yep.
Okay.
And I hear you.
So strange. Okay, great, guys. Let's talk Zentail. So again, Zentail is here as your partners to help you sell, more easily and more profitably across the various channels. We work with top brands and resellers to handle all of their day-to-day. One of our internal, goals is to make sure that our sellers get to go out on vacation because you guys work hard. And I know that, there's a lot to do during the day, especially now that e-commerce is booming and sales are 24/7. And so if you'd like to go on vacation at some point, you should talk to the Zentail crew. Let's see. More specifically, we also joke that the internet is a great place to buy, but a terrible place to sell. And so how do we make that all, easier on you guys? It's a lot of it through automation. We have tools that expedite the tasks, the kind of day-to-day everything, and make sure that it's more reliably done. So not only are we doing it faster, but it means that you don't have to go back and, correct mistakes, anything like that. A lot of it revolves around the product data. And so we refer to ourselves as kind of your CIO, right? To help manage your catalog, inventory, and orders, the management, the product data, everything. All of that kind of queues up and bundles into our analytics platform, which helps to power your business, making sure you're making smart business decisions as opposed to, guesses. And then again, completing the circle, we're able to notify you of when products need to be reordered, what's happening with your inventory, everything there. And then kind of this year, we rolled out purchase orders. So that's all offered within the Zentail platform, as well as the listings piece at the end there for Walmart, Amazon, Web Store, syncing it all together 24/7 in addition to some other channels. So why it's important? Again, we want to grow your sales. We want to make sure that you're here and doing it profitably to continue down the road with all of this. Mike Meck will be able to jump in today and answer some questions about how Zentail handles all of this. But for now, just a quick, short overview. All right, Michael, if you're ready, I can click through your slides.
Great, yeah, that'd be great. You want me to share my screen here? You want to click through? Awesome. I'm Michael Sene from Deliverr. You can go to the next slide. I just wanted to give a quick rundown of Deliverr. One, we're basically just a fast and affordable fulfillment. We work with Walmart. We love our partnership there. And just another option that we want to offer any merchant. And really one of our big key points is we're inherently multi-channel. So we understand that on this call, there's probably a lot of Amazon merchants deciding to move over to Walmart. And there's great options, whether it be WFS or Deliverr. And we want to make sure that, hey, if you have to send stuff to an option that can do multi-channel, Deliverr is here, and you can go check us out. We have a lot of good details on our website. You can go to the next slide here. We have 45 plus warehouses we partner with nationwide. So we're an asset light model. So we partner with various 3PLs and created somewhat of an Uberized network here that allows us to get 2-day coverage. We actually have about 40% of the US covered in next day as well. So that adds extra benefit for other channels as well. But the main one I want to talk to you guys about here is just Walmart and the great job that they've done with regards to their 2-day program. If you go to the next slide, it's just one more with regards to when you create an account with Deliverr. Next slide, please. When you create an account, you'll be able to actually type in an item or an ASIN. We'll eventually have a manual calculator as well where you can see your pricing. So it's very transparent. It's all inclusive, includes pick, pack, order handling. The only additional cost is storage. So if you create an account on Deliverr, it takes about 1 to 2 minutes to do. You can do it online right now. Our process is entirely self-serve. But like I mentioned, if you go to the next slide, I know some of the folks at Walmart have already touched on just the increases, and we've seen a ton of increase from merchants coming on from other channels and using Walmart's free 2-day program. And I just included a few items here. This is actually pre-COVID when we had this data. So 203% increase with 2-day shipping on board game items, shampoo products, things that people need to reorder. This was pre-COVID. And so I'm sure everyone on the Walmart team will tell you, you've seen this jump in sales when you have fast shipping and enabled. And we want to be there as an option as well, that any merchant can go brainstorm and decide what is a good fit for their business right now. When they're either selling directly on Walmart and they want to go WFS, or they want to utilize or see if Deliverr's a good option as well. So on average, we've seen about 156% increase with the 2-day tag. Once again, this data is pre-COVID, so I'm sure there's even more increases with the current pandemic and people staying locked at home. So if you go to the next slide, please. These are just a couple of other examples we've seen. Obviously, with people needing stuff quickly, art supplies has probably been gone up more than 92%. We've seen board games, puzzles, things like that. And I just want to kind of close the loop here on Deliverr. If you go to the next slide and just touch on some of our benefits. I touched on some of them already. Pauline, you can go to the next one. Really, the main benefits is, one, we're inherently multi-channel. We do have a clear and simple pricing structure, very similar to Walmart as well. And we have fast tag badging on, we call it fast tag, but 2-day tag badging, and then also on other channels as well if a merchant wants to go that route. And then we also have hassle-free setup. It takes about 2 minutes. We've actually, it's a very self-serve model. Merchants can go on to Deliverr, create an account, create a shipping plan today, send it in today, have it received by next week, Wednesday, and have it for sale by then. So it's a very quick setup process. And we're seeing a lot of merchants come over from Amazon wanting to get onto Walmart, which is great. We highly recommend exploring all your options with regards to fulfillment, whether that be Deliverr, WFS. They've provided some great options there, and we're happy to be a partner there. So that's it. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Michael, thank you. All right, so this officially kicks off our live chat and everything. We're going to get started with some questions on orders first, and then make our way down to fulfillment. There are a lot of questions about fulfillment, so thanks again to the Walmart team for joining, and Michael, and then kind of round out with returns. So first things first, folks. I'm seeing a lot of questions around kind of like ODR rates. People want to make sure that their seller scores are maintained, that their seller performance is on the up and up. Can you give us any guidance around what makes for a good ODR and what you guys are looking for there?
Hey, Indy, is this something that maybe you could field for the group? Awesome, thank you.
Hey guys, so I'm Indy from Partner Performance team. So basically the ODR is encapsulated with separate components, be it cancellations, returns, and on-time delivery. And we would want to have less than 2% ODR across. Just like setting you up for the success, I would say is to first, for the cancellations, if you have any inventory problems or you have any issues on getting the orders to the customers, I would suggest you guys to cancel the orders beforehand rather than having the orders cancel, like auto canceled by the system. So what happens is the auto cancellation logic that we have is you would be provided 8 days from the estimated ship date to cancel and to ship the order. And if you do not ship the order within EST plus 8 days, that is when the system will automatically cancel the order. So we would want you to be, just be cautious about if you have any low inventory levels on the items or you're like out of stock. And so I would just suggest you to cancel the orders beforehand. Also, auto cancellation does kick in the ODR, so it is included in the rate. So, but to decrease the cancellations, I would always say to keep up with the inventory levels, keep updating the inventory on a regular cadence. And I would even suggest that please ship the orders on time, because EST plus 8 days is a fairly long time to ship the orders. So that is one thing. The next thing would be providing accurate tracking numbers and the carrier information for all of your Walmart Marketplace orders is one of the best way to keep up the performance. So we are looking at the valid tracking rate this year, and we would want it to be more than or equal to or greater than 99%. So in this, we just need the valid tracking information. So we just want you to, stop using the competitor logistic services or anything that is, against the policy. And we just want you to, we would want to recommend to go with the suggested carriers that we have, the supported ones like USPS, UPS, FedEx, DHL, and so on. But for the freight carriers, I would suggest you guys to put in the information accurately, where a customer can go into the URL and track their shipment. Because we have seen a lot of URLs that come in with google.com and with improper formats. So I think that would be one of the best way to go. And the next would be, the most important one is we would want to make sure that your contacts, the email information that you give us, even with the phone numbers, is accurate. So we would want you to go into Seller Center and update your contact information under Manage Contacts tab, so that we can send you the up-to-date information. Also, if there is any if there's any problem with your on-time delivery or on-time shipment metrics that we are looking at, even with the valid tracking, that's when we would reach out to you with the alert. Just like a fairly reminder saying that you need to check what's going on with the carrier, or is it something like inclement weather that is not keeping up. So the next thing would be, in case you're not able to meet the estimated ship date or the time, we would suggest you to extend your lag time. That is, go for an approval for the lag time. See if you can get the approval on it, and you can just extend so that the estimated ship date and estimated delivery date would be just kind of far off, so that you have enough time for you to get in the inventory and ship the orders and get it delivered on time. Also, the next important thing is for on-time delivery, I would say that if you're facing any troubles with the carrier, I would suggest you to explore other options for the other shipping carriers and transfer to that. Else, you can always go with the extended lag time. That is the best way to do so. But if it's coming to the ODR performance and suspensions for on-time delivery or valid tracking rate, I would say that we usually reach out to the sellers beforehand, so that you guys have, like, you're reminded of that, hey, your metrics are going down, see how we could improve the performance, and we work together to coach you on several recommendations. But if that doesn't work, even after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that is when we take a call of suspension. So that, I think these are the metrics that we have to be very careful about. So it would be the cancellations, valid tracking rate, and on-time delivery, just to be precise.
Great info, Indy. Awesome.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you. There was a lot there. And so question, as it relates to 2-day and the ODR rate, does anything change there? Obviously, when you're talking like an 8-day cancellation, but the order is expected to be there in 2 days, right? The numbers shift a little bit.
Yes, they do. So Pauline, what I've seen is a lot of sellers are on 2-day, and their on-time delivery isn't that perfect because of the ongoing situations with COVID and the protests and so on. So, but we are very considerate of that, and we have relaxed our ODR restrictions on it. So, but if the seller is not able to keep up with the 2-day, I would suggest them to get on the 3-day if they're just late by 1 day. So the on-time deliveries, what I've seen is so far is that maybe the carriers are delivering it just a day after our estimated delivery date. So that is the reason why the metrics are going down. Then I would suggest the sellers to have the 3-day option open, because I believe that the lag time will not be available. The extended lag time will not be available for 2-day, because 0 default lag time is the mandatory here, because they have to deliver it in 2 days.
Nice. Good tip there. And I guess, how easy is it for a seller to go between 2 and 3 day?
Andre, I think you can take that up.
Yeah, I can take that up. So 3-day right now it's a nationwide service. It's a nationwide program, and it's very easy to get on that. So the way to do it, you'll just go to your Seller Center, Global Shipping Services, just turn on that 3-day over there, and then if you need to exclude some items from the 3-day program, then you can do a shipping override. The way to do that, you can do it one over API, and the second one you could do it over the item templates. So you will submit a shipping override for the ones that you do not want to be on 3-day. Another thing with 3-day is that it's currently a nationwide program. However, we are looking to release the regional 3-day in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that one.
Thanks, Andre. Perfect. There are a lot of fulfillment questions, so I hope you guys don't mind if we kind of transition there. So I guess in terms of WFS, guys, really exciting, happy to talk about that today. I guess first things first, what fees are associated with WFS? What can our sellers expect?
Yeah, Pauline, I'm happy to walk through our fee structure. So overall, our fulfillment fee structure is extremely simple. Our fulfillment fee prices are based on the grader of shipping weight or dimensional weight. So that's it. I just answered a question in chat that asked whether there was a separate stocking fee. That's all included in our fulfillment fee structure. The fulfillment fee, and I'm not going to walk through all of our pricing structure, but I will say that for the under £1, we start at $3.45 for fulfillment, and it goes up from there. We also have a storage fee that is basically, very simply, 75 cents per cubic foot per month. And for any seller, we won't go into great detail on our fee structure, but once you are onboarded for Walmart Marketplace, you actually have access to all of the WFS fulfillment fees. All of our rate cards will be within Seller Center.
Okay, great. Thanks, Erin. Also, WFS, what are the, prohibited, any categories, any product items, anything that you guys are, kind of red flagging?
I wouldn't say that we're red flagging, but let me walk through some of the requirements. So right now, the products that we can accept in need to meet our sortable criteria. So that's any item that's under 30 pounds, and the longest dimension is 25 inches by 20 by 14. So that's our sortable DIMs. We actually are doing a pilot for non-sortable items in that 30 to 60 pound range that will launch prior to holiday. But for now, items need to be sortable. We also received a question. We are able to accept works items, or this is any item that has a battery, chemical. We are able to accept those items. There's a slightly longer setup process because we need to gather additional compliance information for that type of item. But yes, we can accept items that have a lithium-ion battery, items that have a chemical, so things like shampoo, vitamins, we're able to accept those. We cannot accept fully regulated products, so things like motor oil, pool chemicals, that type of product, we're actually not able to bring in. But items with a chemical or a battery, we are able to accept those. Not able to accept fully perishable items, so anything that requires temperature control, but we are able to accept items that have a long shelf life, so like protein powders, vitamins,
Right.
kind of thing.
Okay, great. Yeah, there's obviously still a ton left in order to sell, so that's awesome. In terms of, again, getting approved for Walmart fulfillment, anything that our sellers should know ahead of time?
As far as getting approved, I think the main thing is you have to be set up as a Walmart Marketplace seller first. So you'll need to go through, if you're not already on Walmart Marketplace, you'll need to go through that process to get fully set up, get a partner ID. And then any item that you plan to fulfill through WFS first needs to be set up as a marketplace. So
Sure.
I think that's probably the main criteria. So getting set up in Marketplace, if you are an existing Marketplace seller, there's a section within Seller Center to apply for WFS. And then we review applications and determine onboarding as
Great.
we're able to onboard.
Perfect. All right, and we have a question that's kind of a big one here. I'm sure you're prepared. Can you help the seller community understand how Walmart will handle fulfillment, I guess, with regards to FBA and kind of, what are the differences? How are they similar?
I would say it's quite similar to what you're experiencing with FBA. One of the key things is we do have a dedicated support team. So I think that's one of the things that sellers really like about WFS is we have a number. Once you're onboarded and accepted into WFS, if you have a question, you can pick up the phone and call somebody on the support side. They'll help you create a ticket. So I think that's one of the key differentiators. I would say our price structure is quite similar, but we're really, the seller experience is extremely important to us. And we found that a lot of sellers really appreciate being able to pick up the phone and get help when they have an issue. Excellent.
Definitely. I agree. All right, Michael, questions about your guys' program as well through Deliverr. And so in terms of, everything with Q3, Q4 ramping up already, how can, sellers be certain that there's, space in the warehouse? Is there any capacity issues when working with Deliverr?
Yeah, great question. We actually post updates daily on Deliverr under our COVID-19 update. And currently there are no capacity constraints with regards to storage. I think across the board in fulfillment in general, we're starting to see a little bit of the carrier stuff. We're pretty diversified. We use a variety of carriers, FedEx, UPS, USPS, regional carriers, On-Track, LaserShip, you name it. So I think being diversified does allow, to help alleviate some of that. But we experienced some delays over the last year? Absolutely. I think if you go on that COVID-19 update on Deliverr, you'll see certain warehouses where maybe there was a COVID outbreak, we had to shut it down for the day and then turn it on for another place. So that's bound to happen. I don't think it's a matter of if it's going to happen, it's about when it's going to happen. We do have a lot of backup plans in place with regards to either moving inventory if needed. And the fact that most of our merchants, actually pretty much all our merchants, have inventory in at least 4 warehouses, it allows us to turn one off and potentially ship from the other one as well. So yeah, I mean, in terms of delays, no delays with regards to storage carriers. It's likely going to happen in Q4. I think everyone should kind of expect that there will probably be some carrier delays, as they just talked about, switching from 2-day to 3-day. And we're going to try to alleviate that as best we can with regards to a diversified carrier network. But yeah, that's kind of where the update is right now.
Nice, cool. And then, so for a seller that's just getting started with Deliverr, how do they know, where their products will be fulfilled from in terms of, like you said, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many warehouses? Do they get to choose, or it's kind of something you guys, discuss?
Yeah, we algorithmically place it. So when a merchant says, I want to send in this amount of units, we're going to algorithmically place it into 4 different warehouses. If we don't have data on that, we'll go ahead and space it out, likely due to population density. So you'll see a lot more units go to California and a lot more to the Northeast, and then scattered in between. And then within 30 days, we're developing a product map in terms of where the inventory should go. So there are a couple other edge cases, like, if you're inbounding coats, it's likely not going to be on the Sun Belt, right? We're probably going to go towards the Midwest. It's colder during the holidays. So there's little edge cases there, but we do take care of that for the merchant. So we're trying to make it so they don't have to replenish as quickly, and the inventory is spaced out accordingly across various warehouses.
Nice. That makes sense. And so actually that was another question that got brought up in terms of how Deliverr handles inventory. How will you work with sellers to kind of update that? When does it happen? Is it instant?
Yeah, great question. Well, once we get the order in from Walmart Seller Center, we go ahead and take it off the inventory in Deliverr, and then we go ahead and update inventory in the Seller Center on the partner fulfilled node. So it's pretty seamless there with regards to updating inventory.
Okay, got it.
And that's the same way. Also, sorry, I should have mentioned if it goes through Zentail or any other tool as well, we update that way as well.
Exactly. Yes. I think that we received those from you guys pretty in sync with all of the orders to make sure that kind of we're all on the same page with the inventory with you guys, obviously Walmart and across channels. So perfect. Let's see. This may be one for Walmart. So it sounds like, when there's an order with items that will ship in multiple packages, how will it work with, in the system to provide the one tracking number? It sounds like there's just a little hang up there. So 3 boxes, 1 tracking number. How do they work around that? A little bit of a specific question, I know.
Is this oh, go ahead, Indy, if you know.
Yeah, I think we have a knowledge base article on that, how to update the order with multiple tracking numbers, Pauline. So I can share that with you so that you can have the audience look at it. But it is an option that is given while updating the order to shipped. So there is an option where once you update the status to ship, you have to fill out the quantity updated field with the desired number. It can be like 1 or 2. And then add the tracking numbers for the first box and then the remaining one for the second box. So I can share the KB article. It is all given in that, if that will help.
Great, perfect. Let's see, another kind of thing for fulfillment and shipping. So how can our sellers include any collateral, postcards, anything to ask for a review or to follow them on social, provide a promo code, anything like that? How does Walmart treat that?
Yeah,
So
go ahead, Eric. Yeah, thanks.
I was just going to answer from the WFS side of things. So right now with WFS, our inventory is not commingled. So your items, even if you sell the same items to another seller, we wouldn't fulfill from the same batch of inventory. So you could include that as part of your item, but we do not offer that as a service of something we would put in the box during the packing process.
Great, perfect. Eric, thank you. Zach?
Yeah, my piece was just so like seller buyer communication, we would really request that you do not take action to drive traffic away from Walmart.com to like that's definitely against the seller policy and the agreement you sign when you become a merchant. So if it's an advert that's a part of your package that you're shipping to the customer, that's different than saying, hey, you're engaged with me, we're communicating about an order, canceled it on Walmart and buy it from me. That's something that would lead to suspension of your account. So
yeah, and I was just going to add to that we are sending the post-purchase emails to customers that purchased or made an order with Walmart. So yeah, we don't encourage sellers to send any cards with the order themselves. So
good to know. Official answer. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Shipping rates, obviously everyone's concerned about those. Do you guys have any strategies or tips, for sellers to reduce their shipping costs?
Yeah, so I can cover that one. I think the FedEx Advantage program, it's kind of an example of that, where sellers that cannot leverage their volume to get carrier discounts, this could be one of the programs they could use and leverage, and it's only available to Walmart Marketplace sellers. It doesn't give you, in terms of ground, it's up to 40%, and for expedited and international, it's up to 50%. And then on the ground, then you could use that regional coverage the way I showed to be even part of the 2-day, right? So that's one way of how you can decrease the carrier costs. And then I would say another way would be if you would just engage with WFS, right? They're offering their fulfillment services at great discounts, very competitive prices. So that would be a different way.
Definitely. Yeah, those programs are really great that you have set up. Okay, let's see. Michael, another one to you guys. Similar question, what are some restricted products? Can, they ship anything they have in their product catalog, sorry. What can sellers do with Deliverr?
Yeah, great question. So I think right now our dimensions right now are 40 by 30 by shortest end being 15, and then weight up to 75 pounds. And as far as product restrictions, we are launching batteries in the next week or two or so. So it's in a beta program right now. So we currently don't offer that, but that is something we anticipate offering by the holidays. And then in terms of like highly restricted categories, same situation as WFS, like car batteries, things like that, right? We don't offer anything with hazmat or what you call it, hand sanitizer, stuff like that. So that's definitely a good option there. I know WFS offers that as well. So, and then in terms of other stuff, I covered batteries. In terms of food, anything with a long shelf life, so very similar. Things that expire very quickly, shouldn't send those in. Those are pretty restricted. We have it listed on our support center on Deliverr.com. You can see an entire list of product restriction categories. And because our system is self-serve, you actually, as you're inbounding, you have to check that you're not sending in any of those items because you're technically, not talking to anyone. And so you can send those in. We want to make sure you authorize that you're not sending in any items that are restricted.
Okay, got it. And what are minimums to work with you guys?
No minimums. However, if you want nationwide coverage, you need at least 4 items. We do get some merchants who want to test that out and just send in 4 items to see how the coverage looks. And then they send in more after. So no minimums, no contract. You can use as little as you want or as much as you want.
Okay, huge. Back to the WFS team, if we may. There was a question about what integrations are available for WFS. Or is it all seller center currently?
Sure. So right now we have a full suite of APIs that are available for self-integration if you would prefer. So you can do basically everything via API if that's the route you want to go. We're working with Zentail currently to get them integrated as well, so you can use their platform to manage your WFS business. I think Walmart is making some other changes that are super urgent. That's kind of taking priority prior to that integration, but those guys can take more questions on the exact timeline there. But yeah, you can do everything via Seller Center. You can do it all via API at the moment, or you can work with Zentail as they integrate here in the future.
Okay, great. Thank you, Eric, for that. Very helpful. Let's see, I think we can head back to returns at this point. We had a ton of questions there, so let's go to returns and maybe we can circle back. So there are a lot of questions surrounding the fees in addition to ownership. So, generally speaking, let's do kind of a 101 overview for how does, marketplace returns work with Walmart.
Okay, I might need to lean on some support.
Take it away.
We just lost Bargoff, who was here. He had a hard stop. He had something pop up where he had to jump. Andre or Sid, does this fall into you guys' wheelhouse and your realm of expertise that we can speak on? If not, we might have to transition off of these.
Yeah, I think we can tag team on this a little bit. So with returns, the way it's set up is that customers can respond on the site and they're able to select whether they want to return and print the label themselves or return in store as well. So that's the way it's currently set up. And then, Pauline, can you repeat the other part of the question?
General question for how returns work and the cost, really. Who is responsible for what? Got it.
And then the shipping cost is covered by the seller as well. So that's how it's set up for the most part. Andre, if I'm missing something, could you chime in as well?
Yeah, I think in terms of the cost, it really depends on the reason the customer chooses. Some of the reason, I don't know all the details, but for some reasons, the customer would cover that cost, and for others, the seller would. It just kind of depends on what customer chooses the reason as to why they're returning the item.
And then
Perfect.
The other part of
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was also going to, in addition to that, it's returned to the location that the seller provides in Seller Center or as a returns location, and it's up to them at that point whether or not it's returned to them or or how they would like to handle that. I know Deliverr handles that differently as well. So, if some of the folks on Deliverr and WFS side want to chat about how it's set up, that would help.
Yeah, I think on the Deliverr end, we don't actually handle returns. So you can use any of the services like Sid mentioned with regards to the marketplace side of how they do returns with regards to the marketplace, but the actual physical object wouldn't get shipped back to Deliverr. We plan on launching returns soon. Probably it's going to happen after Q4, I would say. But right now, any of our merchants using Deliverr are actually putting the return address to either their centralized warehouse or wherever they keep stock at. And then they go and inspect the item themselves and do the processing there for any of the channels that they work on.
And then I can get in on the WFS side. So we actually do handle returns. And any good that is shipped through WFS would return to our fulfillment center. It actually, even as we expand into Kansas City, we're still managing returns through the Kentucky facility. So the actual physical item will come back to WFS. And then as a seller, you can tell us there's a fee structure associated with how you want to handle removals. So if you want to get the product back, that's shipping costs plus a fee. And then if you want it to be disposed of, it's just the disposal fee.
And then a note on like the returns cost piece as well. So if the return, we basically look at what the return reason is that the customer puts in when they request their return. Anything that is related to the fulfillment and shipping process, Walmart will be responsible for that return shipping fee and take ownership of it. So basically you will not be responsible for anything on the hook there. Things like late delivery or a damaged product arriving, Walmart assumes responsibility for that because we are the ones who shipped it out. Things like item doesn't match the description, where what you promised on the listing doesn't match what the item was delivered. Those things the seller is still responsible for, and then would be charged the return shipping fee.
Got it. Eric, there are a couple of questions out here. Same thing about the reason for if they've changed their mind. Is that also something that's on the seller to pay for the return, obviously?
I don't remember that one off the top of my head. I'd have to go look it up. Aaron, do you remember?
Yeah, changed mind would be on the seller. So that would still be considered related to the actual product that they received. But as Eric mentioned, anything that's related to delivery or they didn't get it on time is covered by Walmart.
Okay, got it. Interesting. Michael, really smart of you guys to get into returns after this Q4 season. Nice plan there. Okay, perfect. So what else? I'm just trying to go through some of the questions here. Sorry. Returning to store, how does that work for a marketplace sale?
For a market, so for kind of as I mentioned earlier, the customer has the option to either print the return label on the site and they can return it themselves, or they can go in person to the store and return that as well. So for marketplace items, so for example, you just show up at the store, they'll be able to look it up for you and print the return label, and all you do is handle the item back to the associate, and they'll take care of it for you from that side.
Okay, great,
That's
thank you.
The same, and for WFS, that's actually the same way. So any WFS item could also be returned in a store. The difference is when they print the label, it will come back to the Walmart facility.
Got it, makes sense. What is the return policy on personalized or customized items?
We actually have very few UGC custom items on the marketplace. It's actually a category we don't have open for merchant participants at this time.
Okay, great. Solve itself.
Yep.
Let's see. Is there any advice to help limit the number of returns? The kind of commentary on the question is that some customers just seem to have a ton of returns, and they're looking to obviously try to mitigate that.
Yeah, I think it speaks to some of the content we went over yesterday with regards to how you actually have the good content. What is the acronym that Girish provided to us? It was CARE. It is complete, accurate, relevant, and engaging. So making sure the complete, the accurate, the relevant, giving the customer as much opportunity to choose the right product at the right time. Which is they know it's like if it's an apparel item or a fashion item, they know the fit, the size, the color, the specific material that it's made out of, all of those things. When it's like in electronics, you give the actual like serial numbers for those products so they can look to make it, is it or is it not the exact match for the item that they're trying to pair it with. All of those things, I would say, lead to a lower return rate.
I'd also like to add, I think in there, fast shipping in general will help lower some return rate, because I think there's a lot of buyers out there, whether, you know, they're going to look around, and if they purchase an item and they see that it's going to take 7 days, they may find it elsewhere and cancel it in time. So I think it's important to utilize, you know, a service like WFS or Deliverr when it comes to fast shipping.
Absolutely.
Excellent, great. All right, so we're going to bounce around a little bit, take some live questions. Let's see. Is there a minimum volume when working with WFS that makes sense?
Right now, we're encouraging sellers to add as many items as they can. Generally, we're seeing sellers prefer to add items that are already on Walmart Marketplace that are proven winners, and they may either not be able to achieve 2-day delivery on their own. Those are good candidates. I think overall, you know, as I mentioned, we're somewhat category agnostic. So we're at this point accepting, outside of the regulated items I mentioned earlier, we're accepting pretty much full assortments from sellers.
Got it, got it. And does WFS actually accept heavy bulk items that need to ship via LTL?
Not yet. So we're right now in our 2 facilities, it's just sortable items, so that under 30-pound item range.
Yeah.
We are doing a small test at the end of this year for that 30 to 60-pound range.
Okay.
We're not in freight LTL items at this point.
Yeah, totally different story there. Exactly. Let's see. Do you guys envision WFS being available for external channels in the future? Obviously, you're kind of just getting things off the ground now. You have expansion plans for Walmart, but what does this mean, you know, for other channels?
In the future, that is part of our plans, but now through the end of the year, we won't be offering multi-channel fulfillment.
Wow, that's big. That's awesome, you guys.
Do you want one note there, probably not like a similar thread, because I saw some of the questions that were submitted in advance, was around using WFS or using FBA to fulfill for Walmart, right? So, you know, just a note of warning, like Walmart.com Marketplace as well as Amazon FBA basically say you can't use, like Walmart.com does not allow you to use FBA to fulfill Marketplace orders on Marketplace. Amazon doesn't let you drop ship from Walmart.com, that kind of thing. So any sort of multi-channel, like you need to make sure you read those restrictions and rules for any other marketplace or platform that you're on.
Smart guidance, Eric, thanks. Let's see, inventory management, ease of use. There is a question around default inventory listing, how sellers are supposed to manage their items. Can you guys speak to how they can make the most of that and make sure they're doing things correctly?
Yeah, I think I saw the question where it was like, how can we make the manage items page in Seller Center a little bit more navigable? And I think the more time you spend on it, I know this is true for me, the easier and the more native it felt. I think finding out exactly what filters you want to use most often, because I think the question was, how can I have the top 100 alphabetized the moment I walk in? Doing that, having your filter set like that, and just clicking on the first column will automatically alphabetize it. And you can set in the bottom right corner of that screen to allow for more than like the pre 25 to 50, or I think up to 100. But yeah,
Nice.
filters are really valuable. But if you do have an oversized catalog, working with templates, I think is the way to go. And then also making sure that you keep a clean catalog in Seller Center, getting rid of products that you're not going to fulfill. So like decluttering your closet. I don't know, you guys who's logged in early before we started, I showed you the clutter that's behind me this right now. Like I got to work on that. You guys got to work on your catalog, making sure there's stuff that's out of your way so you can move and work quickly.
Got it, Zach, thanks.
Sure thing.
Kind of similarly related to Seller Center, how can sellers predict order volume and then, you know, better manage, again, inventory, cash flow, et cetera?
So basically, how can you predict sales?
Yeah, so based on the reporting within you know, Walmart and or even Zentail, Mike, if you want to chime in here, just curious how sellers can, you know, be on top of it a little bit more, just make sure that they are ready for what's to come.
Like with Amazon has a sales rank on every product, on most products, which helps, you know, help sellers predict sales volume?
Yep. I can take this one. So within Seller Center, we're releasing a series of tools to improve that experience. It's one of the big requests. In addition to fulfillment advertising, the third big one was, give us tools that we can use to better manage our business. And given how marketplace is mostly self-serve, we're building those capabilities in. So you may have seen over the last several months that we've released a series of features, including more robust dashboards. You have the ability to look 90 days back as much as up to 3 months, and you can download that data to look at your history of the orders coming through. You have the ability to look by fulfillment 2-day versus non-2-day, by different categories as well. So you can look at what your performance is if you're in multiple categories. We've also recently launched, to Philip's point, the ability to download the top selling items by category and subcategory, I think up to the L0 level. Andre, correct me if I'm wrong. And this is available for download within Seller Center. It's not to a point yet where it's similar to the BSR feature on Amazon. That's something that's also a request from our sellers and our partners, also the folks like Tecometrics that want to use that information to be able to kind of better predict what the sales would be. So that's something that we're working on. But in the meantime, we're continuing to release these features. We also have some new capabilities coming out later this month. There'll be, you may have seen some information go out about listing optimization. We have a new listing optimization dashboard as well that's coming out that'll help you determine what you need to do, what content, imaging, other things like that in order to help improve your performance there. So those are some of the features that we're releasing there, and there's more to come.
Yep.
So,
that tool went over. We actually had presented on that tool yesterday, Sid, and there will be a link for those who you go back and watch yesterday's presentation or in the documentation that gets sent out after today's event.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know that on the Zentail side, we have some analytics as well to understand, again, like sales orders, channel, everything. So we can take a look back and, again, advise sellers as part of the demand forecasting tool. What SKUs are you're low on based on your delivery timeframes, when you should order by, get it back in stock, yada, yada. So, okay, great. A question from Keegan in the Zoom chat. Are there ways to get sales attribution data? So if they post about their product on various channels, can they link it back to their advertising platform to know where the sale actually pulled in from?
This would have been a fantastic question for yesterday. we had those guys on there, and I think they would have been able to speak to exactly how WMG and ads works on marketplace and off marketplace. So there's other channels that Keegan's trying to get to. I don't have that answer.
All good. Yeah, we can go back, Keegan, and try to get that one for you. Okay, great. So another one from the Zoom chat here. If an item is integrated into the Walmart cart, are there ways to avoid Walmart card fees? We're kind of getting into random topics now. Keep you on your toes. Okay.
I have one group, one question, which is just a mystery in the group. It's a Seller Central question, but it is just out of interest. So very recently, a field was added in the item list in Seller Central called cap status, and absolutely nobody in the group has any idea what it means, and nobody seems to have found out. Does anyone know what that cap status is? And it actually pops up as a sort of switch field.
Philip, I think that is the commission adjustment program, or cap. There's a cap settings under items and inventory as well that you can check. So I think those two things are tied, but that's the extent that I know about that. Again, anybody else in the call now?
Yeah, I think kind of going off what Eric mentioned over there. So sellers have the option to opt into that program, and so there's more available on the site from the pricing team about that in terms of how you would want to participate in that program as well. So that field just indicates whether or not the seller is actually participating in that. So from an operations perspective, Philip, that's all that is. But in terms of learning more about the program and understanding what that looks like, we have more information on the site available. So that program's been out, I think, close to a year now, so if I'm not mistaken, and it's an option where there's a kind of a profit sharing between us and the seller as well. So you can go on the site and learn more about that there.
Yeah, and I was just going to add that that program is not available to everyone. So it's only available to select sellers, and it's by invite only. So when it was initially rolled out, it was just a few sellers, and then after that there are a few more sellers. But we just kind of we don't have it open to everyone just yet. We're still kind of playing around with it and testing it out.
Cool. It was just a mystery for us. So thank you.
Mystery solved. Love it. We've had a good day then. Cool. I think we can wrap things up with this last question. There, everyone's kind of wondering, Zach, you shared some really high growth numbers for Walmart Marketplace, like 35% of that dated. We're like at 90%. You guys are growing like crazy. What do you think the holiday season will be like? So what should really sellers prepare for, especially on the inventory front, but, as it pertains to fulfillment and everything like that, what's to come?
Yeah, I think accelerated growth year over year versus what we did last year. I'm predicting the largest volume Q4 and peak that this Walmart Marketplace has ever seen. It's interesting, right? Because you consider all the other dynamics that are going on with the capacity issues we saw when COVID-19 first reared its ugly head and we had the large scale shutdowns. And if you multiply that by just the amount of volume that happens at peak, having partners like WFS and Deliverr to help make sure that your customers are getting their products on time and are able to choose, because people are going to be saying, I want this quickly. It's going to be massive, especially if you factor in that we're shutting down the stores on Thanksgiving. It shows you the focus and the drive and determination of our team to deliver against our online strategy for that period. It's going to be massive.
Yeah. Are there any timelines that sellers should keep in mind?
With regards
leading up to obviously Q4 sales, anything like a big rush?
Yeah, pay attention. We have some really cool guidelines that come out usually like 4 to 6 weeks prior to Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And those get broadcast on our marketplace newsletter. We hinted at that yesterday. If you go on and I can send you guys what last year's looked like, just so you can sort of prepare. It will be just, I think, larger than it was. So I see Aaron went off mute. So
yeah, I can chime in on that too. So I will say that earlier is better. So the earlier you can lock in the deals, earlier exclusives are great. Anything that we can offer exclusively to our customer that's not out in the market. So, I guess those are probably my 2 key tips is plan early and look at exclusives. It's going to be an interesting holiday year. So the earlier we can lock in those deals, the better.
Absolutely.
Great advice. Very good. Let's see, a couple last questions, guys. Sorry. Let's see. Is there a way to create promo codes or create like a buy X, get Y free type of promotion? This is a little bit related to listings as opposed to today's topic, but I think still a good one, especially given the Q4 conversation.
Yeah, that does, the promo code piece or the BOGO, whatever it might be, does not fall into like the feature sets we have for promotions. Okay, we have like percentage off, we have strike through pricing, things like that.
Great.
Yeah, I know a common one for our Zentail sellers are to use the strike through pricing to show like a good deal on a product. And really similarly, the buy X, get Y free, as you pointed out, isn't a specific feature available, but using Zentail, you could kit or bundle the products onto their own listing as long as you have a unique UPC. So that allows you to offer a really enticing price on a new listing that bundles those two together.
Awesome. Great. Love that hack. Okay. One around orders. So are there any built-in tools to help or recognize fraudulent orders?
So our TNS team is constantly scraping for signals that would identify a fraudulent order and communicates. And that's why it's so important, Indy mentioned this, to have your communication information clearly outlined on when you're setting up your seller account and maintain that, because we will actually engage with you to tell you, hey, if you haven't, we see that you have acknowledged this order, but you haven't shipped it out yet. This is a fraudulent order, cancel it. And so we are proactive about letting you know. And then as regards to like off marketplace technology services that that might exist. I've never come across that.
All right, great. Cheers again. A really great conversation. A ton of questions. I learned a lot. Everyone on the Walmart team, thank you. Michael at Deliverr, Philip again, thank you for an awesome day 2. All in all, I think that we were able to educate the Walmart seller community, and we've got a ton of interest to obviously get ahead of Q4, and can't wait to see what your side looks like next year for year-over-year growth, Zach. All right,
So it was
guys,
exciting.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. We'll have everything again posted in the group out on Facebook. We'll gather all of the links and the slides, and we'll be back in touch with everyone. So thank you again.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so
Bye, everybody.
much. Thanks,
Ciao.
Pauline.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.